Potts was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for her work in Corvette Summer, but she's probably best known for her movie acting in the 1980s, which includes movies like Ghostbusters, Pretty in Pink, Who's Harry Crumb, and many others. We got 1. Potts' biggest TV role during this time was Mary Jo Jackson on Designing Women, for which she was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award. On Young Sheldon, Potts played Connie Meemaw Tucker, Mary's mother and Sheldon's grandmother. The character was previously played by June Squibb on The Big Bang Theory, and it's clear that Potts took notes when she took on this younger version of the character. Meemaw is a very important part of Sheldon's growing up. She's one of the many characters who don't fully understand him, but she knows Sheldon's personality is special and loves him for his quirks like only a grandmother can. After Young Sheldon, Potts joined the guest cast of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. She also appeared in the upcoming Bailee Madison romantic comedy 40 Dates and 40 Nights and brought back her famous role of Janine in Ghostbusters, Frozen. Empire. Potts is also active on Cameo, where she records videos for fans. Speaking about possibly retiring, she once told Glamour, "I don't think I'll ever get bored of it. I'll never retire ever." Emily Osment began acting as a child, appearing in projects like Sarah Plain and Tall, Winter's End, and The Secret Life of Girls during her first year of work. After that, she got the role of Gertie Giggles in the Spy Kids movies, and became widely famous as Lily on Hannah Montana. That role made Osment someone to watch in the industry, earning her a Teen Choice Award in 2009. She then went on to have a successful acting and music career throughout her teenage years. By the time she joined Young Sheldon, she had dozens of roles under her belt. Osment was cast to play Amanda Mandy McAllister on Young Sheldon, joining the show in the series' 5th season. She's older than Georgie, who lies about his age when they start dating. Yet Georgie goes after her despite their age difference, and they end up having a baby together and getting married. Of course, this then sets up the story of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, which is where Osment is spending most of her time after Young Sheldon. Emily Osment has been building up quite an impressive resume, but off camera, she's gone through broken relationships, mental health struggles, and some heartbreaking family tragedies. In 1999, Emily Osment's older brother, Haley Joel, gave an unforgettable Oscar-nominated performance as a young boy who could see dead people in The Sixth Sense. It made him a household name around the world practically overnight when he was only 11, but the bright lights of fame were nothing compared to what his sister would go through several years later when she played Miley Cyrus's best friend, Lily on Hannah Montana. As Haley Joel explained to The Guardian in 2020, that show was designed to create crazy fan excitement in that age group. She had to deal with a lot more weird invasions of privacy, not being able to have a normal school life. And what made all of that worse was she had to be on social media. I refused until I was like 27. Back in 2007, during the biggest Hannah Montana time, Emily told the New York Times that she was shocked to learn that hundreds of blog pages had been wrongly said to be written by her. She also said that she didn't like being photographed by fans while going to and from the gym. In June 2023, it looked like Emily Osment had finally found the one when she announced that she was engaged to music producer and DJ Jack Anthony, as she gushed on Instagram. "This love is so big and so uniquely ours, and I know it can do anything. Marrying the greatest guy ever. The wedding planning isn't that hard." Osment and Anthony got married in a private ceremony in October 2024. Unfortunately, though, their love wasn't big and unique enough to last very long. Indeed, before the marriage certificate had even gotten old, they were heading for divorce. As the legal papers showed, they'd actually separated just before Christmas. So, it appears their honeymoon phase barely lasted a couple of months. Osment appears to have handled the split well, though at least judging by the statement that her representatives gave to USA Today, in which she said, "I think with any big decision in your life, whether it's relationships or work or whatever it may be, you have to firmly plant both feet in that decision." Ultimately, it didn't work out. In early 2025, millions of people found themselves in the path of the raging wildfires burning through much of Los Angeles. Emily Osment wasn't directly hurt by the tragedy, but she did have family members who were. Specifically, her older brother, Haley Joel, and her parents, Michael and Teresa, all lost their homes in the disaster. As she wrote on Instagram, "It's been an extremely difficult month. Community is everything, and I know I'm heavily leaning on mine right now, and that's okay. So much love for my beautiful, hurting city." Osment went on to ask her followers to help out in any way they could. As she wrote, "Please find some time to donate and show up and be there for those who are struggling right now. We're all doing our best, and that really is enough." Before she got married in 2024, Emily Osment had several long-term relationships, none of which lasted. Her first serious boyfriend was reportedly Tony Oliver, a fellow former Disney Channel star and one half of the pop duo MKTO. After they broke up, Osment moved on to her future Cleaners co-star, Nathan Keys, for a rumored 18 months before she then started dating young and hungry actor Jimmy Tatro. She and Tatro worked together on several projects, including the comedy sketch Fighting Couple, and a Drunk Questions video before eventually breaking up as well, perhaps sensing that mixing business and pleasure wasn't working out for her. In 2016, Osmond started to date someone who wasn't in the entertainment business, Jim Gilbert, who worked at the Verdugo Hills Autism Project charity. They stayed together until 2021, but it wasn't meant to last as the two ultimately decided to go their separate ways. In March 2020, Osmond appeared on an episode of her former Disney co-star Miley Cyrus's Instagram live show, Bright Minded, Live with Miley Cyrus. As the pop star said, while introducing her friend, "This is the reunion of the decade, my BFF, that shared a screen with me for the last 15 years. I'm honored to call her my on- and off-screen badass friend that whether it's for Hannah or Miley is always right there when I need her. The best, you're the best, good to see you." But the two haven't always been so close. In Cyrus's 2009 book, Miles to Go, she admitted that she first saw Osmond as a threat. As she put it, "There was competition between us. Girls struggle with that, and we were no exception. I didn't do much to fix it. I mean, I wanted to, but I had no idea how to go about fixing it. I never got along with girls as well as I did with guys." Cyrus also said that she and Osmond would often get into fights whenever she tried to be more friendly. Luckily, their relationship changed during the third season, with Cyrus explaining, "I think somewhere in the course of trying to keep the peace and act like friends, it sort of became true. It felt natural. Honey, it's not worth it." In 2011, Emily Osment got great reviews for her main performance in the ABC family movie Cyberbully. She played a teenager who gets a laptop for her 17th birthday and then becomes a victim of constant online bullying. And it's fair to say that Osment really suffered while making this movie. In an interview with TV Guide, she said she was regularly put through tough times while shooting this warning story. As she put it, "The hardest thing was being on set every day and having to get into the state of mind where I was crying. It was emotionally hard, and the tears didn't stop flowing when the cameras stopped rolling." As Osmond admitted to We Love Soaps, "I would just come home and I would cry. We had truly an amazing time making this movie, but I never thought of myself as a method actor until now. So, I would talk to my friends, especially my actor friends, and they'd call, and I'd be like, 'I just can't talk to you right now. I'm so sad.'" After her experience with Cyberbully, Osmond was clearly familiar with the bad parts of the internet, and in the years since, she has still struggled to deal with mean real-life keyboard warriors. After watching the Netflix show 13 Reasons Why, she posted a long message on Twitter that read in part, "Cyberbullying doesn't have an age limit. Even a 71-year-old can be a bully. I still catch myself affected by what I read online in response to some of my more political or strong tweets." And this wasn't the first time that Osmond had talked about the negative side of social media. While promoting Cyberbully, she told We Love Soaps that she had an instant, no-tolerance approach to haters. As she put it, "If I see something negative online, I truly will push delete. I truly will block the person, whoever is sending it. But you know, the internet is the internet. It's endless and it's scary, and it can be very frightening, and sometimes the best thing is to take yourself off of it." The topic of intimacy coordinators on movie and TV sets has been somewhat controversial the past few years. Some actors have said they'd feel restricted with one around, while others argue that they help to create a safe environment for everyone involved. Emily Osment, for one, is definitely in favor of them. While promoting her Netflix sitcom, Pretty Smart, in a 2021 interview with Decider, she explained, "There's this safe space feeling that I have been denied so many times in my career that I didn't even realize I could ask for that. And not just because I'm an actor. This happens in every area of every job. Unfortunately, I can't think of a single woman that hasn't said, 'Yeah, I've felt uncomfortable in my place of work before.'" In fact, Osment was very important in getting an intimacy coordinator hired. On Pretty Smart, as she revealed, the producers were like, "Oh, sure, yeah, we just didn't think to do that." Even if it wasn't an intense moment, it's always nice to have that person there. "That was the first time, as a number one, I really put my foot down about something and wanted them to be hired. And we had the most wonderful woman named Rebecca Johansson, and that made a world of difference. I have kind of been dreaming about this moment. Me, too. Can't believe it finally happened." In 2018, Osment sat down to watch what would be the final season of her freeform sitcom, Young and Hungry. She played Gabby Diamond, a young personal chef who falls in love with her tech millionaire boss. Unfortunately, unlike the audience at home, she wasn't exactly laughing along. After one particular episode, she took to Twitter to say, "Special shout out to mental health. Your own sanity is so much more important than anything else." Osment then explained why she was struggling, as she revealed, "Weird seeing this season's Young and Hungry from over a year ago when I was 20 pounds heavier and deeply sad. Get yourself right, get yourself first. It all falls in line." Osment has regularly taken to social media to talk about the issue of body positivity. For example, during pandemic lockdown in May 2020, she posted a photo of herself in a bikini on Instagram, along with the caption, "Nothing like getting in shape to see absolutely no one ever again." Like a lot of actors, Osment has faced many setbacks over the course of her on-screen career. In 2014, for example, her action comedy show Cleaners was canceled after 2 seasons on Crackle. Then there was her Netflix show Pretty Smart, which was canceled after only 1, while her CBS sitcom, Young and Hungry, never even made it past the pilot stage. But the cancellation that appears to have affected her most was the early ending of Young and Hungry. Osment spent 5 seasons playing young chef Gabby Diamond, who gets into a relationship with nerdy tech genius Josh, played by Jonathan St. It looked like Gabby and Josh were set to take things to the next level when she proposed to him while also asking him to move from San Francisco to Seattle, in a major cliffhanger. Unfortunately though, Freeform pulled the plug on the show before viewers ever got to find out the answer. Osment was unsurprisingly just as devastated as anyone else, as she tweeted, "It breaks my heart to tell you that, in addition to Freeform TV not giving our young and hungry audience the ending our show deserved, they have also decided to not go forward with a full-length movie." However, she did throw fans the tiniest of bones by referring to Sadowski as her obvious future TV hubby, suggesting that Gabby and Josh were destined to get there happily ever after. "Did we? We did. Are you sure? So sure." Emily Osment didn't let the small matter of a worldwide pandemic stop her Hollywood career. During the lockdown era of COVID-19, she managed to film the Netflix series Pretty Smart, the Hallmark movie A Very Merry Bridesmaid, and the 3rd season of the Netflix sitcom The Kaminsky Method, but that doesn't mean that it was easy. In fact, she was quite scared. As she admitted to Us Weekly in 2024, it was scary to be in a position where you don't really know if you're safe or not, and you have no choice but to pick up your mask and work. Fortunately for Osment, she did have some emotional support while shooting The Kaminsky Method in the form of her brother, Haley Joel, who appeared on all 6 episodes of the show's 3rd season. That she put it. "Knowing where he'd been, you know, he's my brother. It was comforting to have him there. If you get a job on a big TV show, you're set for life, right?" Sadly, that's not always true. Even the actors from Young Sheldon had tough times in their lives. Ian Armitage was 8 years old when he got the job playing Sheldon Cooper on Young Sheldon, but this wasn't his first time acting. Armitage first became famous much earlier with his YouTube show called Ian Loves Theater, where he reviewed plays. This job really helped him get more work in TV and movies, and soon he got to work as a reporter for Perez Hilton's website. After that, Armitage got a small part on Law & Order, Special Victims Unit, and then he played a character named Ziggy Chapman on Big Little Lies. Armitage kept acting on Big Little Lies while also playing Sheldon on Young Sheldon. Would say that Armitage was the perfect pick to play a younger Sheldon Cooper, and he was really good at copying Jim Parsons' funny moves from The Big Bang Theory. This was super impressive because he was so young, and as the show went on, Armitage proved he could play a complicated character who didn't understand how to act around other people. "Greetings, Mother. I'm ready to beam down to the party." When Young Sheldon ended, Armitage started focusing on other things he liked, though he hasn't completely stopped acting. Funny enough, he's a lot like his TV character in real life. For example, he loves learning different languages. Armitage enjoys learning new languages and has learned Armenian, Ukrainian, Russian, Arabic, and several others, though he can't speak all of them perfectly. On top of that, he also loves flying airplanes. He's working on getting his pilot's license, and he celebrated his first time flying alone by posting about it on Instagram in July 2024. Young Sheldon was Montana Jordan's big break, but it wasn't the young actor's first job. He started acting in 2018 when he was in a movie called The Legacy of a White-Tailed Deer Hunter, playing a character named Jaden. Besides that one movie, Jordan's whole career has mostly been about Young Sheldon, though he did show up in one Big Bang Theory episode called The VCR Illumination. Appearing on an old videotape with Ian Armitage, Jordan played Georgie Jr. on Young Sheldon, and he had a really cool mullet hairstyle. Georgie's character was based on an older version played by Jerry O'Connell in The Big Bang Theory, and Jordan definitely did an amazing job playing the younger version. Georgie goes through lots of changes during the show, growing up from a troublemaker into a more responsible young man who by the end of the series gets married and has a baby. This character's story helped set up Jordan's future as an actor, since he continues playing Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, and while this new show is taking up most of his work time, it's not the only thing he's doing these days. In January 2025, Jordan married a social media star named Jenna Weeks. The couple had their daughter Amir Jordan in May of the year before, which means Jordan's real life has kind of been like his most famous character's life. Regan Revord was just 9 years old when she got the job playing Sheldon's twin sister, Missy Cooper, on Young Sheldon. Like many of the show's other kid actors, this wasn't her first time on TV. Revord had first appeared on Modern Family, where she played a character named Megan in 2 episodes. She went on to appear in several other shows, including with Bob and David, Grace and Frankie, and Teachers, before getting on the show that made her famous. As Missy Cooper, Revord played a younger version of the character that Courtney Hengler first played on The Big Bang Theory. As a kid, Missy is more relaxed and not as smart as Sheldon, but she's also a sweet girl who cares about her family and deals with her brother's weird behavior better than most grown-ups. You're pretty cranky for a princess rodeo clown. Missy's storylines weren't as deep or complicated as some of the other characters on Young Sheldon, but she's appeared as a guest on Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, so there's clearly more of her story to come. Other than Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, Revord doesn't have many acting jobs coming up, but that doesn't mean she hasn't been busy. She loves reading, and Revord will publish her first book, Rules for Fake Girlfriends, later in 2025. Since Young Sheldon ended, she's also been running her own book club called Read with Reagan. Revord started this project because, as she told People magazine, "I didn't see that space for kids to fall in love with reading." Zoe Perry has had a pretty interesting career as an actor, thanks mostly to her mother, Laurie Metcalf. Her first official acting job was on Roseanne, playing a younger version of her mom's character, Jackie Harris. After that, she started making a name for herself even though she was very young, appearing on many TV shows, including Law & Order, Cold Case, The Family, and many more. Perry also appeared in several movies in small parts, but it was on TV that her career really took off. Perry joined Young Sheldon as Mary Cooper, the main character's mother, and since this was the role that made Perry famous, it's funny that it actually seemed like her first performance all over again. Laurie Metcalf had played Mary Cooper on The Big Bang Theory. Just like on Roseanne, Perry followed in her footsteps, playing a younger version of a character her mother had made popular, and she did a fantastic job. 2. Perry later got nominated for a Critics' Choice Television Award for her work as Mary on Young Sheldon. As you might expect, she kept working in the Big Bang Theory world with appearances on Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. So, Perry won't be done with Mary Cooper anytime soon. Along with that, she's also followed her mother again lately. In early 2025, Perry joined the cast of The Conners. This time though, she didn't play a younger version of Metcalf's character. Instead, she finally got the chance to act alongside her mother, playing a police officer in 2 episodes. Before appearing on Young Sheldon, Lance Barber had a small role on The Big Bang Theory, playing Jimmy Speckerman, one of Leonard's bullies from high school. "I always thought we were just having some fun." "Oh, it wasn't fun for me. You're being too kind. Leonard, you ruined him." That had been one small role in a long career. As Barber started acting on TV in 2001, he's appeared on many popular shows over the years and has gotten several movie roles, too. More than anything else, Barber is probably best known for playing the crazy party guy Bill Ponderosa on about a dozen episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Later on Young Sheldon, Barber took on the role of George Cooper Sr., the Cooper family dad. George never seems to fully understand Sheldon, but it's clear throughout the series that he cares about him very much. The two share many sweet moments during the show, which makes it even sadder for fans of The Big Bang Theory. That's because longtime fans knew from the beginning that George wasn't going to live very long. Indeed, Barber's character was killed off in the second to last episode of the show, leaving the final episode for the family to deal with losing him. But death isn't always the end on TV shows, and Barber made a welcome return to the franchise in one episode of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. In the episode, Typhoid George, George Sr. comes back through several dream scenes, in a lovely tribute to Barber's character. Jim Parsons became a superstar thanks to playing Sheldon Cooper on The Big Bang Theory. So much so, in fact, that it's hard to imagine him playing anyone else. Still, Parsons had actually started acting years earlier. He began in theater and starred in a few plays off-Broadway before making small appearances on TV shows like Ed and Judging Amy, as well as early 2000s movies like Garden State. Yet, it was an upcoming Chuck Lorre sitcom that would become Parsons' biggest hit, which seems perfect since he had grown up watching shows like Three's Company and Mork and Mindy. As Sheldon, Parsons quickly became the character who stole every scene in a series that originally had 5 main characters. While everyone on the show certainly played an important part in its success, Sheldon became the heart of the group almost right away. That's mostly because of the winning personality Parsons created when he took the role. He made Sheldon both a fascinating and hilarious character, soon becoming the show's secret weapon. Bazinga! Before The Big Bang Theory ended, Parsons took on the job of executive producer and narrator on Young Sheldon, narrating each episode. As Sheldon looks back on his childhood, aside from a brief appearance in the finale, Parsons never made a full appearance on the show, but his voice was always there as a constant companion for viewers. When Young Sheldon finally came to an end, Parsons decided to return to theater, acting in several successful shows on Broadway. Annie Potts's career started in the 1970s, and she proved she had what it took, pretty much right from the start.